Hello, friend of Detail Therapy and lifer doing all the Gatlu things. I want you to know I appreciate you and acknowledge you for the attention you pay to this show. I do not take it for granted. I always want to bring you the best information and ideas and motivation possible. And I was wondering if you know anyone that needs something like that in their life. Would you please, if you get a chance today, if you think of someone, drop a text, send a DM, post to your stories, whatever makes the most sense for you. Share the show with someone that you know. It's that one-to-one connection that makes such a big difference in the quality of our audience and making sure that it hits the right people. So I need your help for us to be able to do that. So if you could share maybe this episode or a favorite that you have with someone, I would really appreciate it. All right, on to the show.
And it isn't productivity that doesn't work. It is the addiction to finding new ways to do things that doesn't work.
Welcome to Detail Therapy, where we come together to talk about how to create more confidence and build a business worth going all in on so you can go after the life you want. Subscribe for good vibes, and let's dive in.
Productivity is dead. That's right, I said it. Or at least productivity in the way that we used to think about it, when we were obsessed with doing all the things. And this is coming from someone who was unknowingly featured in a Netflix series for being a part of a cottage industry of productivity gurus. A cottage industry? Okay, so in other words, working from home? I will take that as a compliment, Netflix. Thank you. As if the relationship that we have with our productive lifestyle hasn't already been love-hate, but as of the last couple of years, mostly hate. Everywhere you look, we're reminded that time is so precious, but we don't necessarily have to go so hard to make the most of the time all the time. And so ambitious professionals like us are dealing with this conundrum. Yes, it's amazing to leverage strategies for time management, but it's also really cool to just chill out and live. So where's the balance with striking balance? The issue that we're coming to terms with is that productivity is addicting. Okay, we want shortcuts. We want the inside scoop. We want someone to tell us what we don't know that we don't know. So this leads to a lot of absorbing of how to get things done. But the more that we do with that, we're not actually getting things done. Not to mention the fact that there's all the work that goes into trying the things that might help you to get things done, which is just further assisting you and not doing anything real. It's no wonder productivity is taking it on the chin right now, because it's so easy to fall down this rabbit hole to try to figure out how you can be better, that nothing's actually getting accomplished. So productivity for the sake of productivity is dead. If you keep asking yourself why you're using some sort of system and you can't seem to get to anything other than the fact that it's supposed to make me more productive, then you're doing the wrong thing. The answer should be because you are actually keeping up with the habit or taking the necessary steps to make something of a goal real in your life. So you know when that's not happening, that it is not working. And it isn't productivity that doesn't work. It is the addiction to finding new ways to do things that doesn't work. I think the real culprit here, the assassin, if you will, is hustle culture. We became more obsessed with being more productive and time management when the idea of hustling to get to where you want to be and leveraging every moment became sort of in vogue. Now, if I'm being honest, hustle culture does work for some people, but it doesn't work for many others. I got my start in the beginning by hustling on the side. I had a full-time job and I worked on my thing when I had my own hours.
Amy, thanks so much for being with us. It seems like everyone we talk to these days has kind of a side hustle, a side job. Is that true? Are there more of those opportunities out there?
There's so many opportunities, but actually, no, not everybody does have one. In fact, there's a lot of people who don't have one and want one. I think we just kind of get held up in those first steps of making it happen, but there's so much opportunity.
And then when I went full-time into entrepreneurship, I still was hustling a lot. I was working very long days, and I was doing it because I could. I was young, I had energy, I could do it. My priorities now are shifting. I'm now coming back from maternity leave. I have a 3-month-old child. And when I look at all the things that I have to do and all of the ways I used to do them, they don't work for me now. And hustling looks a lot different. As I sit here, this is probably the longest period of time I have been away from my child, and this has just been a few hours. And my new priority really is that I want to spend more time with her than I'm spending on work. And I think a lot of people are feeling the exact same way. They're saying, you know what, I don't want to spend so many hours working. I want to work so that I can live, and I want to live to the fullest. I want to Gatlu. I want to go after the life I want. So this is negatively affecting these working strategies for no arbitrary reason. Because in all actuality, if you want to use more of your time for the things that you love, it actually does pay off to find a productivity process that works for your situation. Okay, so when we talk about implementing productivity in your day-to-day, we need to really understand what is that special way of approaching it that is going to work for you. The way that you work, the way that you focus, the way you want to balance your life, and the way you need to get things done so that you can provide for yourself and your family.
Hey, let's take just a second. I wanted to let you know that the episode of Detail Therapy that you are listening to right now, the value that you are soaking up in those earbuds, it's actually an episode of Amy TV. If you didn't know, I publish videos on a regular basis over at youtube.com/Amy TV, and we thought this episode would be an excellent one to bring over here to Detail Therapy. But if you wanted it sooner, if you wanted all of the goodness that is included with watching a video as well as listening to it, then you got to make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Head over to youtube.com/Amy TV and make sure you tune in for new uploads over there. But for now, let's get back to this little Amy TV throwback.
First, I want you to start adding things to a list. This list is of struggles and questions that you have when it comes to the challenge of getting things done. It's one thing to watch a video and get a great productivity tip and then decide, I'm gonna go do that thing right now. It's another thing entirely to actually look at your own life and understand the context of the issues you have when it comes to getting things done. The two may not match at all. If you don't acknowledge and really understand your own obstacles in your day-to-day life, it's gonna be a lot harder to find the right solution. Next, I want you to start to navigate different productivity advice that could work for you, but if they take a significant period of time to set up, I want you to wait before you even try it. You know how it goes. You see a YouTube video, you like an idea, you say, I am going to start doing this to organize my life. But whatever it is takes a lot of setup, whether it's a bullet journal, so you start outlining all of your pages before you even start using them to help you check things off, or some other arbitrary productivity process that you get excited about because you understand how to get it going rather than getting something critical in your life moving. I want you to avoid this altogether and just note the idea down. Note that, okay, we're gonna try calendar blocking, but not yet, because I'm not gonna set up all my calendars and all my color codes and all this stuff until I know for sure that it could actually really work for me. So with that idea in the back of your head, continue doing things the way you're already doing them. And then as it occurs to you every day, every hour, maybe every minute that you're like, if only I calendar blocked, if only I calendar blocked, you're selling yourself on the idea that you might actually use it. What I don't want you to do is set up all of your calendar block system and then not use it. That is precious time that is wasted. So think of it as buyer's remorse. You know how if you want to make a really big purchase, you sleep on it just to make sure you don't make a snap decision? Sleep on your productivity advice, okay? Get really good sleep, because that's a great start. And then when you're like, I am setting up that bullet journal. I'm setting up that calendar blocking system. It is going to happen because I know I'm going to make the most of it immediately. Then go to town. Finally, I want you to get obsessed with your goal rather than how you're going to get there. When you think about getting obsessed with your goal, it really just has to do with clarity of what it looks like. Because being able to visualize crossing that finish line is what's going to help you every single day to chip away at the little things that are going to get you there. Of course, it's exciting to figure out the hows of the big thing that we want, but nothing is better than the actual vision itself. And truly, if you want to achieve something, you have to be very focused on what that is, but very flexible on how it could happen. Because if we're too rigid about, well, I have to do it this way, or I have to get the help exactly like this, then we might miss something even better coming along, or a shortcut that actually works. It is very likely that you're going to be changing course along the way to your goal. So don't get married to the vehicle you're in. That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. As always, remember, subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life you want. I'll see you back here on the next one. Cheers.